to The Breakdown. I'm your host, Diane Rembert, avid reader, award-winning literary blogger, and the founder of Diamond's Literary World, which is my footprint in the literary industry. Happy New Year. I want to begin by saying that. And this is the episode or the show that I love doing the most because it is my wrap-up of the previous year. I read so many amazing books for 2018, and I just wanted to bring you a few. Couldn't bring them to you all, but if you watch my videos, you'll see that I did a video for most of them. But I couldn't narrow it down to 5. Definitely couldn't do that. Couldn't do 10. I try to do 10 every year. I ended up coming up with 14. So here is the best, or I won't even say the best, the 14 books that moved me the most in 2018. Again, I read some amazing books. Each one held a special place in my heart, but these 14 definitely they made the top list. The first one, and the first, I don't know how many are going to be ebooks. I don't necessarily have them here, but I'll try to post the link to the books down below. The first book is In Service to the Senator by a new author to me, Shakira Rashan. If you remember, I did do a goal. I set a goal for myself to introduce myself to new authors, and I'm so glad I did. Also, I want to let you guys know that in preparation, if you follow me on Diamond's World, if I'm interviewing an author, then I make it my business to read something by them so that we can have something to discuss. In preparation for my interview with Shakira, I read In Service to the Senator. Absolutely blown away. What happens when elected officials, they make a lot of deals, side deals, whatever, through sex. And sex is used as a tool in Washington. And this book definitely brought that to the forefront. Shakira even mentioned that, it caught the attention of some elected officials in Washington. They wanted to know who he knew. So go pick up In Service to the Senator. The next book is, again, a new author to me. Had the privilege of meeting her at the National Book Club Conference back in August. Black by Joan Vassar. It is book 1 of a series. And the second book is Elbert, and the third book is Emancipating James. If I'm not mistaken, she's currently working on a book 4. Historical fiction mixed with romance. Beautiful love story. I highly recommend Black by Joan Vassar. Number 12, Commitment by Nia Forrester. Another young lady that I met at Behind the Pen, I think it is, back in August here in New York. I've heard so much about this lady, but one of my book buddies, my little sister, Chris Renee, always talks about Nia Forrester. I decided to give her a try. I'm so glad I did. I called her up. I said, okay, which book do we start off with? Because she had a sale that I took advantage of. You guys should really, really, really pay attention to when these authors have these sales. It's a way of introducing yourself to a new author for pennies on the dollar. She said Commitment. Looked at my Kindle, had Commitment. Oh my God, completely blown away. Let me just say, a lot of stories that we hear about men who are afraid to commit. In this particular story, we have an up-and-coming rapper who's very successful. Women are throwing themselves at him. But he meets and falls in love with a young lady who is she works for a magazine newspaper, but she's been raised by a feminist woman, single mother. And her mother teaches her to be independent. You don't depend on a man for anything. You have your own. So she's now in the position of fearing commitment, where it's normally the man. Here we have the woman who is afraid to commit. Beautiful love story. I'm going to tell you one thing about Nia Forrester. She may not be as fast-paced as some of the other authors, but it definitely keeps your interest. Thank you, Nia Forrester. I can't wait to talk to you. Another book that slid in, I mean literally slid in the 11th hour, was a new author to me. But from what I hear, she's been doing this for years. Her name is Anna Black. Her newest release is called The Perfect Love Storm. Let me just tell you, oh my God, oh my God. Not only do I love the fact that Anna Black has affluent African American characters, but there's a lot of drama, but a lot of love also. We have, again, affluent African American family, the Storms, and you know they believe in family, but the youngest brother, womanizer, doesn't see the need to commit. His brothers and then his father also joins in. They challenge him, or they bet him to date a woman of their choosing for 6 months without cheating on her. That's all they want. And they give him, I think, something like $1 million a piece. He's like, oh, easy as pie, but he stumbles and falls in love. Now, the female main character, she is mourning or coming out of mourning her husband and baby. So now she is caught up in this whirlwind romance and is devastated when she finds out that it was all based on a bet. Go pick up The Perfect Love Storm by Anna Black. The next book is one of the ones I started at the beginning of the year with, and it's Promised Land by Brenda Hampton and Nikki Michelle. All I'm going to say to you is, what happens when you're going about your daily travels? You're just going about your day-to-day life. You happen to go to bed, and you're awakened in the middle of the night and taken into slavery. You go to Walmart. We all like Walmart, right? Go to Walmart and taken into slavery. Followed home and taken into slavery. That and many more scenarios like it you will find in Promised Land. It makes you think, especially with the way the country is, going nowadays. Really, 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 really makes you think. Go pick up Promised Land by Brenda Hampton and Nikki Michelle. The next book is Better Late Than Never by Kimberly Lawson Roby. Book number 15 of the Reverend Curtis Black series. One of the highlights of my career, especially of 2018, is when I received an email from the publicist of this New York Times best-selling author who asked me if I would be interested in reading an advanced copy of this book. Oh my God, yes, yes, and yes. What a wonderful way to end the series. I feel like I've grown up with this family. Like I said, 15 books. I knew many of these characters before they were born. Dylan, Alicia, Matthew, Cortina. We witnessed them, grow up. Now they have families of their own. In this book, Curtis is dealing with his own demons. But one important thing that resonated in this book was, no matter how hurtful or the past is, and how strained a relationship is better late than never. Go pick that book up. The next book I just want to sit this here for a second so you can see. War by T. Styles, lovingly called Mama T by her readers. If you know anything about T. Styles, if you have followed her from the very beginning, then you know that she has some classic work. War reminds me of classic T. Styles. Classic Hustler's Son. They may not be classics, but I'm just going to tell you what it puts me in the mind of. I put it up there with Silence of the Nine, Pretty Kings, Pit Bulls in a Skirt, Goon. Oh my God, just classic T. Styles. Two families, a lot of bloodshed, war in the streets of Baltimore. The main characters are best friends. No matter who you kill, these two characters are off limits. Nobody can understand why he protects him, why he protects him. It all comes out in the end. If you know T. Styles and her style of writing, you will follow the clues as they are given to you. I did. And so I wasn't as surprised. I was surprised because she took it a little further than I thought she would. But when I was like, oh my God, I knew it. So again, War by T. Styles. This next book was recently released. It was an early release. Again, a new author by me. New author to me, I should say. This book, I don't think there is a book out there, and I'm just keeping it real, that is anything like The Wives We Play. It addresses a very controversial social issue, polyamorous relationships, and it's becoming more. We're seeing it more. More people are being open and honest about what they're doing. I'm not talking about polygamy. There is a difference. That book talks about polyamorous relationships. One husband, 3 wives. And they each play a role in his life. That right there is an amazing book. And I know why Brianna, when she submitted it, was signed to 3 books. It is now a trilogy. Absolutely amazing. Go pick up The Wives We Play.